All right, here we go. Deep question for you. What gets you motivated? In the morning, maybe it's a cup of coffee, but we know the caffeine eventually wears off.
And this morning, we're getting an extra dose of motivation and inspiration from a guy who has turned spreading positivity into a full-time job. Brian Alementi joins us this morning. He's a keynote speaker and trainer that's been helping companies all over the country get people inspired. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. What a pleasure.
Yes, we were talking a little bit just a second ago about your journey to get into motivational speaking. Can you speak on that a little?
I can. You know, I put my 10,000 hours in, that's for darn sure. Started out in 3rd grade. Shout out to all the teachers in the world.
Hey.
They gave me an opportunity, said, come on up in front of the class every Friday, so I was looking forward to it every Friday, to get up and do a little speaking, a little skits, and I carried that through my schooling and carried that into a profession now. So shout out to the teachers for inspiring kids.
Okay, I got it. Your accent gives it away. You are a local guy, which we love.
Yes.
So you do speeches here, you do motivational speaking here, but you go all over the place. Who are you targeting? Is it corporations, individuals, teachers? What's your kind of clientele, if you will?
It's everybody. Anybody that'll listen. Anybody that wants to be motivated or inspired. There's always a time and a place for motivation and time and a place for inspiration. So I'm there. You need me, I'll be there.
Where do you find your inspiration?
It's interesting. The easy answer is my family, my friends, because I don't want to forget anybody. So that's an easy blanket answer, but I think of things that my grandfather told me early on. It's one of those things when you hear your grandfather or your grandparents or your parents tell you when you're early on and you don't listen. It doesn't digest until you're later on. They said we get old too quick and smart too late. So I'm just trying to get smarter quicker. That's what inspires me. And when I go around the country, inspire other people, hopefully they're getting a little bit smarter quicker.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, we talk about people in the workplace often feel the burnout, the fatigue of society these days, but people at home, I mean, heck, I've got a little one and I feel it just at home too. When you're spreading that message to the masses, like what are some of the key points that you're trying to get across to people who are feeling that?
Yeah, I've got a few different key points, and if I come back, I'll give you even more. That's a little incentive.
Right.
So one thing is being grateful for what you have. It's one of those things, it's the first G that I talk about, is being grateful. And there's other people that have more than you. There's other people that are doing more, and that's okay. Time and a place. You're here for a reason. I'm here today for a reason, as you are. So being grateful for what you have. And then, okay, what else can I do? And I think of grace. Shedding yourself a little bit of grace. Giving grace to others, that's something that, hey, wouldn't it be a nice place if we all gave a little bit more grace to everybody and cut ourselves a little bit of slack. And the last thing is being generous. If you got the money to be generous, that's great, but it doesn't always need to be money or monetary. You can be generous with your time. You can be generous with your kind words. Generous just all around, being kind. I think that those are the 3 things that I really preach.
Kendall kind of touched on it, you know, kind of that work-life balance, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. We've talked about it, the two of us, it's hard. It is hard to do it. I think there's been more emphasis on it post-COVID, which I think is great, is a lot of people realized, I'm not living to work. Right? I want to have a life outside of just what I do Monday through Friday. But how do you find that balance, and how do you kind of tap into that while also trying to realize, you know, I have a career and I've got to do this? What would be your, you know, your takes on that?
That's a very good question, and so many people are struggling with that right now. And not every profession lends itself to be an equal balance. But what you can do is when you have that time off is being present. I always say being present. It's one thing to be physically present. So I'm sitting at the kitchen table with my wife and 2 beautiful kids, and they're telling me about their day. And they're slinging gold. They're telling me this is the stuff I should be digesting, but I'm thinking about tomorrow. Right. I'm thinking about what I just did today.
Sure.
Being present is not only just being physically present, but it's being mentally present. And if we're ready to schedule time with our clients, schedule time with our coworkers, schedule time with work, we should also be ready to schedule time with the ones that love us. Putting that on the calendar, that's where the balance comes in, is actually focusing the time to the people that mean the most to you.
Sure. I mean, we're having this small conversation right now, right? When you have these massive speeches and they're longer and you're talking to people individually. As you as the speaker, what's that moment like when you see in the audience, you're looking around and you're like, you can feel that deep breath from people? Because you're just inspirational, you're motivational. What's that feel like for you?
I love it. I thrive on it.
Yeah.
Remember the 3rd grade story? That carried me through, and I'm not in 3rd grade anymore. I'm a little older than that now.
Graduated the 3rd grade.
Yeah. So,
it got close at times, but bravo. I'm just kidding.
I feed off of that.
Right.
And by doing that, and I steal inspiration from you guys, I steal information from my family and friends. I put it in my pocket, so when I need to dole it out, to a crowd or a small gathering, then I have that opportunity to do so.
I think too, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think people who are like you, who have that energy, it ebbs and flows though, right? I mean, you have moments where it's hard and life is hard, and then you have moments where, okay, I'm in a good space. And is that part of the process too?
It is. There's going to be bumps in the road. I've had plenty of bumps in the road. 10,000 hours doing this doesn't come easy, so I've had bumps in the road. So what I need to do is look, okay, small steps. How can I achieve? If I look too far in the future, that's going to be daunting on me. What can I do tomorrow? What can I do today? How can I help somebody? Little things mean a big difference. So
if there's one thing someone could do today, right now, this hour, to just kind of better themselves for the rest of the day, what would it be?
Take toll of what you got and be grateful for what you have, because that means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And you're not necessarily grateful until you lose it.
Right.
You didn't realize what you had. Kind of.
Amen. Yeah,
Brian, thank you so much.
Yes, what a pleasure.
Can you come back like on a weekly?
Yeah,
I'll be here.
Okay, can we just
Once
make
a
him a thing?
Just like get us pumped up to
You
go
got
back
it.
into work too.
Yeah, I need you at 4 a.m. Can you
got
come
it.
at 4 a.m. to really pump me up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll
Go
give you
make
my
that promise.
Great. We've got you on tape saying you're going to do it. All right, if you'd like to learn more about his speeches, some daily inspiration, head to his website. It is, you see it right there, brianalementi.com.
Thank you again.
You pronounced it correct. Very good.
Oh, good. You said it was like elementary.
Yeah, you got it.
Going back to your
We
third grade
remember.
class. Yeah.